Welcome back to AV. Got a review for you on, Kylin AIO by Vandy Vape. Let's get into it. This was sent to me from Vandy Vape for the purpose of this review. Yeah, thank you very much. It's not going to change my opinion of this AIO. So this is a 70 watt external 18650 device, and yeah, it's pretty unique. What we're going to do is we're going to dive down. I'm going to show it to you, show you everything that it comes with. It comes with a lot of stuff, and I'm going to put a build in it. One build. I'm going to put a mesh build in it, wick it up, stills, all that. And then we'll come back up top and I'll give you my pros and cons final thought. So the Kylin AIO Polar Phantom is the color I got. It's the package. These are the different mesh coils that comes with it. It's got that dual coil. It's got the NI80 for you NI80 lovers like myself. 316 stainless steel. A1, 0.2, 0.15, 0.15, and a 0.15. Comes with plenty of stuff. Yours might come in a different package, possibly, but you're going to get your Kylin M AIO. I mean, just by looking at it, when I first got it, man, look at that airflow. Beautiful. Proper use guideline of batteries to use or not to use, protruding 510. I don't know why they have that in there. You're going to get a user manual. USB Type-C cable for charging. Vape cotton laces, 2 of them. You're going to get an additional 0.3 ohm mesh coil. 35 to 45 watts. Best 35 to 45 watts. Okay. It's a mesh coil. You're going to get a triple fuse Clapton coil if you wanted to put a regular style coil inside. You're going to get that stainless steel rolling pin for the mesh. You get O-rings, additional flathead screws, some springs for the clamps, you know, all that good stuff. You also get one of Vandy Vapes that cut the lead. You're also going to get some 3mm stainless steel wire you're going to have to use for the rebuildable RBA section, which we're going to be doing a build on. And these are the coils you're going to get. You're going to get the dual coil and NI80, A1, and the stainless steel 316. I was going to do the dual coil. I might do the dual coil because it goes higher in wattage. On one side, it's got this, you know, nice color design. It is 100.8 millimeters tall, 46.5 millimeters wide, 24.5 millimeters thick. All right, so that looks nice there. But once you flip it over, I don't know what they were thinking, man. They did like the Vupu drag scenario. They put the Kylin on the side. I think it's ridiculous, hideous. It's just hideous. They should have had that material on this side. I don't like Kylin. It's just big branding on it. I mean, yeah, you could cover it, but if you hold it like that, it's going to be open. So you're going to have to hold it and thumb fire it. But on the right hand, it's better in the right hand. You'll cover it. So just keep that in mind. 5 mLs with the do-it-yourself, and 2.5 with the coils provided in the different thing. So that's what it looks like. You got your nice clicky fire button there. You got a nice window to see the e-liquid right there. You got some beautiful honeycomb airflow up top. This does take a 510 drip tip. As you can see, this is stainless steel, which I like as well. I think it's a nice touch that they added this as stainless steel with the airflow. Really nice. On the bottom, you have some holes for ventilation. And it is going to say designed and manufactured by Vandy Vape. Then you have that little thumb option that you can pop the door open. 2 magnets right there. Normal door. And this is the internals. Okay? So let me make this a little bit brighter. So it does have a battery strap. All right. It does take an external 18650 with it. And then you have your wattage up, wattage down, and your screen display right here. We'll go into a second. USB Type-C right there. And then you have the pre-made, if you wanted to pop it out. This is, you get 2 of these. Okay, you get 2 of these. One is for the rebuildable, which is this one. They do have different airflows. Just to let you know, you can close down and change the airflow. Same drip tips, but R510 compatible drip tips. This one is the pre-made coil, and this one is for you do it yourself, which we're going to look at in a second. Now let's look at this one. All right, so you can take the coil out from the base. This is what's making a connection. You can pop that out. It's 35 to 45 watts, 0.3. Same coil as the one I showed you. And you pop it in like so. All right. You can adjust the airflow. Take some of this strawberry, which is nice. And a change. I'm just going to prime up this coil. Like so. And you put it in. All right. Fill port. Just grab this grommet right there. It's held on by another that could pull out if you pull it too much. So you could pull that out. Just wrap that around and give it a fill. And we're going to let that sit and prime. The RBA section one. Same fill port. Okay. Different contacts below. You got the little contacts coming up to make the connection, right? But the way this one works is this top pops off like that. Bada bing, bada boom. All right. And yeah, it's kind of like just a clamp with a spring-loaded ceramic piece in the middle. Like all the companies are making now with the mesh style decks. Okay, you got a Phillips head screw there, Phillips head screw there. So what you'd want to do, right, is take those 4 stainless steel. I'm going to take those 4 pieces. I'm just going to, there's 5. You get 5 total. And then you put those in. And those are ready to go. Okay. And, yeah. So we're going to do a build on this. You get nice wraps like this. Or any other wrap you want. Alt wraps. All right, if you wanted to pick up, there's all types of different wraps. You don't have to get that one in particular. Positive up, negative down. Does go to 70 watts. There's the Screeno. Coil detected, 0.31. And then you got TCR version. No, reset puff, go to the graph. Version. TCR, you could go in there and do your temperature coefficient value if you wanted to. Which is always dope. Nice screen. You put that top on it. You see your e-liquid, everything's good to go. All right, so here is the deco. All right, so we're just gonna have to build like, you know, kind of just having it chill. That is either stainless steel or Ni80, which I can't tell, or stainless steel 316, which I cannot tell. They both are the same. I think that one might be it because it feels a little bit firmer of a material, but I'm not sure. So we're going to do the one, we're going to do the old dual coil. There we go. Boom. Take the steel rod. on it. Back from the close-up on the Kylin AIO by Vandy Vape. So, before I go any further, I'm going to pop the door off. And as you know, the screen, you can hit the button 3 times. And it's going to blink. And you can go from wattage to temperature and to voltage. So you can vape in between. You can do temperature, you can do regular wattage, or you can do voltage. And if you hit the fire button, the minus button and the fire button together, it will lock, it will flip the screen, which I don't know why you'd want to do that. But yeah, I didn't show you that down low. Also, this little piece, you know, you would think it would come for a lanyard or some sort. No, this is to, if you take the rebuildable section off, right, and you got the rebuildable section, and you pop that top off, you can put this on it, right? See how it's like that? And then you can place it inside of your pod, right? And it's easier to build and wick if you wanted to do it on the device, and you don't have to, you can pull it back out. Plus, it's going to say, if you try to put this in without this piece, it will say check atomizer. For some reason, something has to be up top for it to actually read the resistance. If I put this in without this and the top, it would just say check atomizer. So you can pull this out like that, and then you can do your building. You don't have to worry about, you know, it's just something you can grab and hold. And then you can just pull it straight off. It's not going to affect the wicking. And then you can put that piece back on. And as you can see, it is wicking, all right? And then I put it back in. Okay, so that's what that's for. All right, it's showing up as a 0.15. Get into the rebuildable. I'm going to drop in the 0.3 sub-ohm tank setup. Automatically reads the resistance. It's 30 to 45 watts. I have it at 45 watts. There's the airflow. Airflow is a little bit different on the sub-ohm coil from the rebuildable. There's more holes on the sub-ohm. So 45 watts. .45 watts, 0.3. It's more of a restrictive kind of pull, which it should be for a 0.3 resistance. You can adjust the airflow. It is a tight fit, but the problem, one of the cons that I have to specifically the sub-ohm top section is that I can't see it closing down the airflow. So you don't know where, you don't know where you're at with the airflow adjustment. It does close, it does adjust the airflow, but I can't see where it's adjusting. So it's very hard to tell if I have 2 holes, 3 holes closed off, half of it closed off, you know, but if you do adjust it, you can feel the difference, but you can't see the difference. So that's kind of like a turn and feel type of device, or type of airflow on the sub-ohm coil itself specifically. See, that's kind of like a mouth to lung. Like a loose mouth to lung. It's kind of like a moose mouth to lung. Airflow's nice, tighter, decent flavor on it, you know. But I'm gonna pop out the sub-ohm and I'm gonna drop in the rebuildable. I have the dual mesh coil inside, and that's another thing I need to mention as well. I bump up the wattage here to 65 watts is that the stainless steel 316L and the NI80 mesh coils are identical in looks. So Typically, the stainless steel 316L is going to be a looser material, so you can feel the one's a little bit more flimsier than the other. That would be the stainless steel 316L. You know, so now I can adjust the airflow on the, I have the dual coil in there. I have it wide open. All right, 65 watts, 0.15. It's a vape. Airflow is, I like the airflow. It's smooth airflow on it. It definitely has more airflow on the rebuildable, as it should, compared to the sub-ohm. I would have liked to seen them maybe, I don't know. It seems like there's more airflow on the sub-ohm version versus the rebuildable. And it would have been nice if they gave you a couple different coil options, like a 0.3, a 0.15, a 0.2, you know, something along the lines of that. I'm not taking away from it. It does come with a lot of stuff, but hopefully you'll be able to, you know, buy additional coils, and, you know, but I don't think they're going to be able to do that because the airflow is pretty tight on the sub-ohm, considering it looks like it's got a lot more airflow, but the holes are smaller. So just keep that in mind. All right. So I can see that I'm adjusting the airflow on the rebuildable. I can see that I'm closing it down. That was wide open, feels good, but I like it. 2 holes closed down. Now I have 6 holes on each side. That's where I like it. Makes it a little bit warmer, a little bit more restrictive. Flavor's pretty good on it. You have TCR on this. You have like a stat thing. You can check your stats. You can reset your puff counter. You can flip the screen. I don't know why they want to do that. That's a con. They shouldn't have that in there. You're not going to flip the screen, right? Now, the stainless steel wire that goes inside of the rebuildable, you have to make sure it's pushed all the way down, number 1. Okay, number 2, you're going to want to make sure your cotton is touching on top of those stainless steel wires. If it's not, it might have a trouble wicking, okay? Now, another thing to that is cleaning it. If you wanted to take it apart and clean it, it's going to be tough to get those stainless steel wires out of there. You're going to have like tweezers or, you know, something to get in there and take them out. It's going to be a pain in the ass to clean. You can do it. It's just going to be a pain in the ass. All right. Good fill port on it. I would have liked to also seen another subjective con. It could be a subjective con. I think it's kind of a con in general, is that I wish when you had it fully attached like it is now, you could take the stainless steel AFC barrel off. So you could check your coil, check your wicks, make sure it's wicking properly. Because, you know, another thing with the stainless steel wire is that you get bubbles. I don't really get a lot of bubbles. I get bubbles. It's wicking. I mean, it's almost half empty now. I've only been vaping on this build for about, you know, I don't know, a little bit. And, you know, it's definitely wicking. It's just, you don't get a lot of bubbles. It's kind of, it's not going to do bubbles. It's going to seep up through the stainless steel mesh wire, make its way up, and then the cotton sits on top, and then it's going to get to the cotton and get to the thing. So where the actual wicking is taking place is above your visual eye. You can't actually see it. So you're not going to get too many bubbles. Sometimes when I do it upside down, you know, sometimes I can get some bubbles because I do that, and then I see the bubbles, know that it's getting to the cotton, and it's actually wicking. It's just a visual representation sort of thing. It does wick. It does wick pretty well. Yeah. What's really cool about this thing is that, man, it's a mesh. It's a mesh coil inside of an AIO that is all in one. It's an AIO mesh rebuildable. I mean, it's dope. Right when I got this in the mail, I was like, wow, this thing's gonna be awesome. A con to it, I'm just going back and forth on pros and cons just because that's what I'm doing. But the Kylin on the side, I don't like that. It's just big. It says Kylin. It's got like holes in it to show mesh, which is cool. But I don't like the branding on it like that. I wish it's kind of like a Vupu Drag in a way. It's got a really cool design on one side, and then you flip it over, and then you have a big Kylin on the other side. Now, if you're right-handed, you know, it's going to cover the Kylin, which is nice. It's going to look like that. But if you're left-handed like me, you know, and you want the button not like this, but like that, it's going to show the branding. I wish they did. I wish they didn't put the Kylin on there. I wish it was just all a solid color on both sides, sort of thing. There is a window to see e-liquid. That's nice. I can easily see my e-liquid. That's a pro. There's no movement in the door. The door's on solid. It's built really, really well. I have to give it a pro for that. Takes an external 18650, USB Type-C. It's definitely better than micro USB. Okay. Buttons are very clicky and responsive. The fire button is very nice, clicky and responsive. There's no rattle. There's no button rattle or anything like that. Easy to fill. You can use your own 510 drip tips with it, which is a pro. It is a nice tight tolerance to adjusting the airflow, which is also a pro. I'd rather have it tighter than loose, you know, which is a pro. I do like the rebuildable better than the sub-ohm coil. If I have to personally give you which one I like more. I definitely like the rebuildable better. I do like the mesh in it. I'm not really the biggest mesh, but I do like the mesh in it. A single alien in there would vape tremendous. You do have that piece that comes with it. You want to cut it at 5. It's going to give you the perfect height for the coil to airflow ratio. So I like how they added that in there as well. They also added the rod to roll. They gave you a coil. They gave you like all the stuff that I showed you down low. So I'm not going to go over that. But pro that comes with all the stuff. There's some cons that, you know, I wish they did differently. But this is pretty innovative. I like what they did with it. It's different. I like how they got kind of like a mesh RTA into an AIO. I mean, you know what I mean? It's pretty, but you know, they used a stainless steel mesh. That's where I kind of get a little bit. They used the stainless steel mesh. I mean, I forget what other RTA they recently did that had the stainless steel mesh in it. You guys could probably let me know in the comments of what that was. I reviewed it maybe a month or two ago. I can't remember the name of it. But I don't think it's the most, this is just my opinion, I don't think it's the most efficient way to wick. You know, I mean, how could they have done it? They couldn't have really done it any other way. You know, if they had a big juice capacity below, it wouldn't be able to wick. You know what I mean? So they had to do something. It does wick. It's just, I don't think it's the most efficient way to wick, you know, especially with mesh. Mesh, you needed a lot of liquid on that. You need it to be fully saturated. And I don't get dry hits. I'm not trying to scare you away. I'm not getting dry hits or anything, but holds 5 mLs with the rebuildable, 2.5 mLs with the sub-ohm coils. Anywhere from $57 to $70, somewhere in that range, depending on where you look. Do your Googling. No links in my description. Flavor on a 1 to 10. It's not the best. The flavor on this isn't as good as like the Kylin, what was it? The Kylin M RTA? Or the Kylin, yeah, Kylin M RTA. I feel like I might have gotten better flavor off of that or a standalone. But for all in one, you know, 1 to 10, I probably have to give the flavor about a 7.5. It's pretty good considering it's all in one. I love that it's just all in one. You know, you don't have to like, you can just buy this and boom, you got basically a Kylin M with a mod. You slap your battery in it and it's all in one spot. I mean, I do like the idea. I do like what they did. And I think they accomplished it pretty well. You know, there's some things that I mentioned, you know, as I mentioned, like I wish were a little bit different, a little bit better, like taking that top off to look, to see what was going on. I'm really, really enjoying it. I definitely recommend it. 2 thumbs up from me. That's what I got for you today, guys. Hope you found the video helpful, informative. Stay juiced up, screw lighten up. Don't waste your bandwidth. Not being subscribed to the channel. I'll catch you guys on the next one.